Hi students, how are we? This is video number 2, okay? To celebrate Easter, we're going to be making hot cross buns. You'll see throughout the video, the ingredients are obviously on Moodle, but you can chop and change to what you have in your cupboards, or just to what flavours that you want to put in. I hope you like the flowers that are added to the sort of introduction to the video. It's going to be a little bit different today because I'm going to be live streaming this to some students, or hopefully some students. And I don't know how that's going to quite work, but we'll just see. It's a learning process. Right, okay then, so we're going to make hot cross buns, celebrate Easter. And there's a lot of nice skills for you to reflect on, and just there's lots of knowledge that we can do a little quiz based on this from all the different ingredients that we've got. So we're going to start then. So ingredients wise, obviously the recipe will be on Moodle. We've got 450 grams of strong white flour. Okay, then we've got 150 hand hot milk and 75 water. I'm going to add that shortly. Okay, it must be just hand hot, not too cold. Don't want to kill the yeast, but you also want it to be able to activate the yeast quite quickly, especially since you'll be proving at room temperature and not using a prover like we would at college. 1 level teaspoon of salt. Okay, then I'm using 40 grams of fresh yeast. Okay, if you've only got dried at home, 4 level teaspoons will be fine. So 4 level teaspoons would be around about 20 grams. And then we would double, obviously, for using fresh. Okay, so in goes my yeast, again, taking care not to touch the salt. 3 level teaspoons of ground mixed spice. And 1 level teaspoon of cinnamon. Then we've got 50 grams of caster sugar. 110 grams of currants. Okay, then the recipe will say 50 grams of candied peel. Now, I don't have any candied peel, and I've just raided the cupboard. I've got some cherries, some dates. You could use dried apricots. You don't even really need to add the fruit. So if you look at the recipes now, you could add orange zest, you could add chocolate chips. Just make sure they're bake safe chocolate chips so they hold some shape in there. But you can add really whatever you choose. Okay, in goes that. And then 50 grams of soft butter. So that's all in there. I'm just going to give that a little mix in now, just to work the butter in. Okay, just as we normally would when making some sort of cake. Yeah. Then I add all my wets. Okay, make a little well. And that goes, James, can you get me an egg? And it's just smashed on the floor quickly. Okay, so in goes the milk and the water. Right, then in goes the egg. Say, if you were using the machine, just pop it in the machine with the dough hook. Let it run for about 6 minutes speed 1 and then about 6 minutes speed 2, or just a slightly higher speed. Just to activate the gluten and just make it nice and easier to handle because it will become less sticky. Making it by hand is a little bit more difficult. Just to bring the dough together. It takes a little bit of effort. You don't want it too dry, okay? Again, you know, a nice sort of sticky dough will give you a nice moist bun. When it comes to work it, you will need, unlike if you're making it in a machine, you won't need any excess flour. But when making it by hand, you do need a little bit of flour on your bowl. So there's my dough. Bowl's nice and clean, as you can see. Pop that to the side, and then I'm just going to get as much of this off my fingers as I can. I've proved this at room temperature. It just takes a little bit more time, that's all. It will prove fine. Okay, so a little bit of flour. The dough. Okay. And you can see that's working quite nice. Again, work as fast as you can so as to prevent the dough sticking to your hands. And I would work that for around about 5 or 6 minutes. It's really important not to cut down on stretching the gluten and letting the dough work. If I was to work that for 8 minutes, I just put it into a little oiled bowl. Okay, cover it in cling film and then let it prove. And here is, I've always wanted to say this, here is one I made earlier. So you can see that's my initial dough here. Okay, so that's my dough there, as you can see, pre-proven, sorry. And then if you look now, this has been at room temperature for around about 2 hours, okay? And it's proved beautifully. I've just put mine in a plastic tub. I don't have a bowl big enough for it. So, and now I'm just going to gently ease that out of the bowl. Again, put it onto your board skin side down. Okay, so a little bit of flour, and then we're just going to knock that air back out of that dough. Okay. And the dough is lovely. It's really nice to work with. So about 2 hours proving it, easily doubled in size, just at room temperature. I'm going to do 90 gram approximately rolls, okay? So just as normal, I'm going to shape them into my lovely little buns. There we go. And this dough makes around about, how many does it make, about 12? Yeah, about 12 buns, okay? So my buns have proved beautifully. I'm now just going to make the cross. Okay, so in here I've got 40 grams of flour. I'm using strong flour still.
Oh, I'm so good at this.
And 10 grams of butter. Okay, and you just rub it in, just like you're making a normal crumb. It just gives a little bit of sort of flavour and texture to the actual cross rather than it being plain water and flour. Okay, now what I tend to do is, I've got the crumb in this bowl here, but when I'm making this, I like to add the crumb to water rather than the water to the crumb. I think it gives you a smoother finish. And there is different ways of doing it. I like mine to be quite sloppy so that I can pipe it. Some people like to make it as a sort of firm dough. And all you would do, obviously, when you follow the recipe is just add less water till it forms a bit of a dough. So in goes one. In goes a bit of that mix. Keep adding till it forms a paste. And I'll show you the consistency in just a minute. I've made it a little bit too light, so I'm just going to add a spot more flour. Here is my beautifully proved hot cross buns. Okay, and what I do when I prove them, I'll roll them, because I'm doing it at home obviously. I sprinkle them with a little bit of flour, and then that means that when I take the cling film off the top, it doesn't stick and tear the bread, because once you've teared a hole in it, they will deflate. Okay, but they've proved lovely. Look at them bad boys. They're all beautiful. Okay, and then I've got my liquid, my mix here. On the recipe you'll see, I've just got, there is a recipe for it, but for us we know what to do. I've got some sugar in a bowl, in a saucepan, sorry. I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. Not much. Like I say, there is a recipe. And then I've nicked one of my wife's tangerines. So I'm just going to put a little bit of orange in mine. You can put a bit of lemon, you can put a bit of zest. If you really like cinnamon, you could add a bit of cinnamon stick or something, or a bit of ground cinnamon, just to give it a bit of flavour. And you want to make this probably when they go in the oven, because as soon as they come out of the oven, that's when you want to glaze them. So I'm just going to pop this on the heat. So as you can see, I've made mine a bit sloppy, yeah? You can, obviously, as I said, work that to a dough, roll it into little tiny sausages, and put that on top in the form of a cross, attaching it with just a little bit of butter. Okay. Right. I'm now going to pipe my crosses on. If you're not doing it, would you just lift that slightly so they can see me cross? Oh, because your elbow's on it?
Yeah.
No. Okay, I'm going to pipe the crosses on. On goes one. On goes the other. I tend to make the crosses, and I've not made these loads of times, I tend to make the crosses slightly thick, but it does work well. So that's them done. Okay, I'm going to pop them into a preheated, which I forgot to preheat, oops, 190 degree oven. Okay, mine's take around about 12 minutes. Obviously at home I'll have to turn them around because I've not got the best oven. So I'm going to pop them in the oven now. Some I made earlier, these bad boys, so they look lovely. Yeah, my kids, we made a batch last night, so we're actually dropping some of these off to our neighbours, leaving them at the front door, obviously for social distancing. But some of the old folks will enjoy these a little bit, I reckon. They're beautiful, honestly. The texture, my thick syrup. Now, as soon as they come out of the oven, brush them, because what will happen is the syrup will then set and gives it a really nice sweet topping. Yeah.
I'm eating this one.
So out they come, nice glaze. I'm going to adjust the camera again, Jim, so they can see. Okay. Now listen, if you've got any, please, in order to sort of assist me, because this could be for the ages, this lot. If you've got anything you want me to make, let me know. Beautiful. And that really is a hot cross bun. You could obviously put, let them cool, put chocolate squiggles on them, whatever you want really. But they're well worth making. Oops, sorry, got that one. No, just leave it on. Move my flowers. I'm actually doing the introduction at the end because I forgot to do it. Okay, so today we have made beautiful hot cross buns. It was brilliant for those that came in and enjoyed the live video. For me personally, really good to talk to you, just to ask you some questions, hear how you're getting on. And I know that some students, I'm not going to mention their names, but they haven't really spoke to anybody else, so I think they enjoyed just being involved in the conversation. So thank you to those who enjoyed and joined in the live stream. Sorry, I do hope you enjoyed it, and please make some hot cross buns. Quiz to follow. Oh, I forgot to say, just as I eat some hot cross bun, happy Easter.